Midas Touch Network reports that Florida, where Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein have lived, and where Epstein was first convicted and got the sweetheart deal under then Attorney General for Florida, Pam Bondi, now U.S. Attorney General for Donald Trump. I'm sure there's a connection there, as well as under Alex Acosta, who was the Southern District Attorney in South Florida, who prosecuted, if you want to call that, prosecuted the Epstein case the first time, gave him the sweetheart deal where he could go to his office at various times during the day while he was supposedly under house arrest or some nonsense. Well, that is very important for what I'm going to mention next, which is the victims of Epstein have been so outraged by the Trump administration 2.0's apparent cover-up of the Epstein files, after crowing about it for years that they'd be happy to release them, and blaming the Biden administration, who had no incentive to release them necessarily, and certainly didn't brag about releasing them. Suddenly, they are covering everything up. And Midas Touch Network reports that the victims have filed with the judge in the Ghislaine Maxwell supposed sweetheart deal movement to a prison in Texas to voice their frustration and their opposition to any sort of pardon or any sort of legal maneuver that would in any way continue to hold the Epstein files hostage under the Trump DOJ. Once more, when we're talking about protecting children, and the government claims that that's so important, they do it only when they're going against people like me, when they're going against people who are not pedophiles, who are not predators, but who are nevertheless falling into some trap that the police under ICAC or the FBI, working independently, or some other law enforcement organization, then they're trumpeted out. Their names are mentioned. They're put in every press release out there, and the public is told that these average and ordinary guys who are just trying bluntly to get their rocks off online or to meet up with somebody for adult consensual sex quietly, secretly, which is nobody's business, and not looking for children, those people are held up as the worst among the worst. And yet the rich and the powerful and the well-connected, once again, are hidden away, are not vilified, are protected, are told how they're somehow being victimized by the system, the system that they control and rig, and that those people somehow are the good guys and the rest of us are bad. It is a disgusting, sickening habit that I've seen I don't know how long, and we are partly to blame as the American public because we are not riding their collective political asses every moment. We're spending more time planning our vacations than we are actually monitoring these folks and what they do. And I hold the local politicians responsible too, even those I voted for and like. I'm thinking in particular of Abigail Spanberger, who used to be my rep in the district. And now we have others in that position too. And they'll meet with everybody in the universe. But of course, they will not meet with the victims of police, because we've got the stigmata on our forehead of so-called sex offenders. So we couldn't meet with them. We can meet with the police, though, and we can thank them for their good and wonderful work. But we can't, for some reason, meet with the people who are the actual victims of police violence, unless, of course, we've been trafficked as child sex slaves of some sort or another, and only then when we're convenient pawns in their game. Really disgraceful.